Hi, everybody. I just want to thank Girls Right Now and the Center for Fiction for having me before I do anything. And before I start reading, let me just set this up for you just a little bit. The book is about a teenage girl named Lucinda, whose mother left when she was 4, and she doesn't know why. And as she turns 16 over the summer, ghosts start to come into her life. And she doesn't know why. But the section of the novel I'm going to read to you now is one of the first ghosts, who is an 87-year-old woman who's been dead for about 100 years. And she's the first ghost to come back. So, and this, I don't think this scene tells you, but it takes place when the girls are outside of Penn Station. Can everybody hear? Is this fine? Okay. When I think of the summer I saw Lucinda again, what I remember principally is how strange it is to feel cold when everyone around you is hot. New York that June was positively Pleistocene, a ragged animal with its fur dripping to the ground. Even each building's face looked damp to the touch, as if the moisture were rising from within. Lucinda is wearing those jeans again. I want to tell her they're too hot for the season. But every girl around her I can see is wearing jeans. When I was a girl, I also did as those around me did. But in Lucinda's case, I think it is less with the idea of belonging than a kind of protective coloring, as if wishing the eyes of others to simply pass over her, to barely register her at all. Today, the heat makes her eyes seem bruised, which also gives her a look of being hunted. I have to remind myself that she's fine, that she is speaking with 2 friends. One, a short blonde girl with flat, straight bangs I have now seen many times, and another a boy, tall, awkward, who casts his eyes quickly from one to the other as if afraid they will shortly dismiss him from their presence. I'm sure he is afraid. At times like these, we have the violent urge to take your hands in ours and press them to our cheeks like bad actors in a play, in an audition yet. We can't help it. We want to tell you everything we have learned. Whatever students we were in life, now we're the children waving our hands wildly in the classroom, and we know the answer. We know this answer. Once I thought this was our strength, that we knew all the answers. Now I see that's all we are. Lucinda is leaving. From the back, her walk is both graceful and cringing, and I want to shake this helplessness from her, this unconscious submission. I am impatient for her to know the simple fact that she's beautiful, if that's something she can ever know, and I would like her to know that life is easier if you are not afraid. But how few of us ever understand this. This is the helplessness all the old feel around the young, of course, but for me it's worse. I, who when I was alive did not have this infirmity, this wishing my children to be better than I am. With Lucinda, it's different. At striking distance, I can barely contain myself, though I don't know if this closeness to her, this time we have together, is a dispensation or a gift. There's really no way to know anything here. I say here, but here is just your here, where we always were. It's just that now we're half asleep, dreaming through the second act of the play, until something rouses us. Perhaps a play is not the best analogy. We might be more, I think, like the scum on the crests of waves, briefly lining the shore like a ring on a dirty bathtub. If so, my feet are touching the sand, though I don't know for how long. I have certainly been away a long time. Lucinda has now passed entirely into the crowd, her white t-shirt erased by the crisscross of the moving bodies. I'm surprised to suddenly feel something like jealousy. How freeing to know you could pass out of the picture but simply turn around and re-enter the frame at any time. I'd forgotten that too. But it has been a long time since I've been part of this thrum, this moving canvas. The footsteps stepping over the pavement in a pattern that stamps itself opaque each day. The light that goes out in the world only to glare the next morning, to begin again. You must all wonder where it goes eventually, where that light stays out. Or I don't know. I can't remember. Maybe you never think about us at all. As well you should not.